Kind of feels like a Mars colonization project because you can see the edge where there's no more things. But if you're not a big fan of formatting, you got to take really, really nice photos then. If you have really nice photos, then you don't have to format as much. Slightly strange formatting. I've never seen this, which makes me feel like I'm in a panda enclosure and there's like a UV light shining at me or something. Damn, movie can draw like this. Okay, my bad. Hey guys, today we're gonna look at Movie's portfolio. At least that's what I call him because Siva joins my stream quite often and I call him by his YouTube name. So Movie. But yeah, I know that you're applying to school soon and there's a few programs you want to apply to. You want to apply to the EU and also UCL for the computation program, which I know nothing about. So I don't really know why I'm mentioning it, but I guess so that people know which programs you're applying to in case they are applying to the same one. Maybe they can help you. I will just be looking at your portfolio from a traditional architecture standpoint. So I think I'll start it off by just going quickly through each page and giving quick comments, and then we can focus on certain aspects. So first page, very creative page. I have seen very little effort. I have seen very little people put this much effort into the cover page. I guess contents page, fine, looks good. Work experience. I wouldn't start with work experience. I would start with a project and then put work experience later on. But yeah, all really nice drawings. This one especially, I really like this one. I would even have it, this is fine as well. But it feels like there's so much detail here. It'd be nice to see this on its own page. This one I think could use more hierarchy. You should just kind of pick the best one and make it the biggest one. Make it a lot bigger. Interior work, I am unable to display my previous work due to confidentiality. I guess I'll probably take this page out. Historical preservation building. Render, there's a lot of detail here, but it's off to the side. There's less detail here, but it's more centered. So it makes me slightly unsure of if this entire thing is your design or I guess just this part. But I guess the entire thing is your design. But I would put the part with detail more centered than the parts without as much detail. And also, yeah, I would just crop this page to be more zoomed in on this part so that you're not showing kind of the places that you haven't modeled and stuff. Kind of feels like a Mars colonization project because you can see the edge where there's no more things. It's like the dark valleys or something where no one can build and stuff. Cool. Form making and design development. Form making makes it sound like it's more random. I don't know if it is or not, but I feel like form making makes it sound more random. So you could put something different, like just I guess site massing or some kind of initial massing and design development. That will sound more professional. I would take the blue out and just keep it simple, or swap it to white at least. I think blue looks slightly too. You could go for cute for sure, but you got to stick to it then. I guess blue just feels it doesn't really match with anything you have shown in your images, except at least like not closely match with any of the colors you have. So it feels a bit random. This one is too small to see. I'll put it bigger if you're doing a lot of things with textures. Cool. Master plan, or not master, big plan. Yeah, make this one bigger, I guess. This is definitely the best plan from first glance, but I'll just make one of them bigger. This is amazing. I'm not sure why you have it so small. This looks very detailed. So I'll have it on a different page, full screen. Yeah, I would pick one of them and have the other one smaller as well in here. This one, they both look pretty cool, but just pick one to be big and then put the other one small. Way too much to look at, I think. Some really nice stuff. Some nice models. Lots of different models. I will maybe pick 3 of the best images and have it like 1, 2, 3. And then maybe have all the other ones very small here. Because they can zoom in to your portfolio. It's not a problem. Like here, I'm going to have to zoom in anyways to look at them. So you might as well have one of them big that I just, hits me with like a good image. And then I can zoom in to see the smaller ones. Slightly strange formatting. I've never seen this. I guess this is very computation looking. But you can stick with these, but I will make them smaller. And same thing, have one large image. Maybe like one that's like this size. Project 3, museum restoration. Cool render. Looks a little dark. I guess you're trying to highlight the title, which I think your image is more important than the title. So I will focus more on making the image look as sharp as possible, which kind of means, so you already have the darkest shade of black, which is black, the darkest shade of gray, which is black. So the darkest part of your image is black, and your lightest shade in the image seems to be like this gray or like this gray, which is pretty dark. So I will make the lightest shade almost white, so you have a higher contrast in your image, and things seem more, what's the word? Things seem more well lit. Form making, again, yeah, try to come up with a different name for it. I would. And these look amazing. Love these. I would blow these up much bigger. Again, always I would scan drawings instead of photographing them. Yeah, I wouldn't attach them directly onto each other. Like, don't make them touch. And also, same thing, choose one to be bigger. Oh yeah, okay, this is great. Some really nice renders. Look at this one. Like, that is, I don't even know how to model that. That looks pretty cool. So I would blow one up to be way bigger than the other ones. Same thing here. I think this one is probably my favorite, just because the glass detail here. That looks quite cool. Number 4, building restoration. Very nice sky. God, it feels like I'm in the what do you call it? Like the whatever the Lion King is. Feels like I'm about to go whatever. What's the song? I don't know what the song is. But yeah, it feels like like the moon is like super bright. I'm like looking everywhere, and there's just so far that I could see. So it seems like a lovely place to be at, to be honest, just in terms of the landscape. But it feels like you're creating a bit of too much light pollution there. So I would tune it down slightly. I would just give because where is this light coming from? I guess from here, right? I would use a very light brush in Photoshop, like almost white brush, to dot out exactly where the lights are coming from, the sources, because the sources will be where it's the brightest. I would dot those out in Photoshop and then make the rest of these kind of more blobby, diffuse lights a bit darker. Yeah, I think that the moon should be the brightest thing, and then parts of your building, small parts of your building. You don't want to highlight the parking space, you know? You want to highlight the lights on your building, lights in the parking lot, but not the street itself. Yeah, cool. I mean, really nice render, this one. This one's a bit low res, so I'd make that smaller. This seems like it's its own page. It's like a little parasite on the page. So I guess I will also make this smaller. So I'll make this much bigger. And this is quite interesting because it's like an isolated image. I haven't seen that before in your portfolio. So yeah, that's good. Fine, that's fine. Cool. It's actually decent. I mean, overall, I would say you can definitely improve with your laying out. Like having words on top of lines is generally very hard to read. And, you know, having borders that cut in between your text is distracting. And just generally like lining things up to be perfect. You know, of course, you want someone that with like attention to detail, and formatting is where that comes in. So general advice is just to spend more time in formatting, have more patience for it. But yeah, this page is fine. I guess, are they the same? No, they're not the same. Okay, these two look the same, but these are obviously different. How would I fix that? I guess maybe have this here, have this one here, move this entire section to cover this place, right? And make this entire thing bigger. I hope that makes sense. Cool. Yeah, I don't like it when things touch directly onto each other. So yeah, I would change that. And also the text is way too big and they're weirdly spaced out. I don't remember exactly how you fix that, but you got this. You can YouTube it somehow. I trust you. Yeah. Modify bamboo furniture. Okay, cool. A bit too zoomed in, I feel like. I don't know if you can change the photo if you have more space around it, but a bit too zoomed in. It's too zoomed into the part that you can really see kind of the clunky bits of your project, the parts that aren't precise, and you definitely don't want that. And there's also a green like hue on top of everything, which makes me feel like I'm in a panda enclosure and there's like a UV light shining at me or something. Or like I'm a little baby in an incubator and there's like a warm light that's like glowing on me. It just looks a bit too green. And yeah, I will shrink these if I can. Oh man, this is 100% my favorite page in the portfolio. I remember first time seeing this, I was like, damn, movie can draw like this. Okay, you know, my bad. This is very nice drawing. You know, I'm gonna just zoom into this. See, you can draw very well, you know? So I just think if you can do this, then try to get this standard to be the baseline eventually. Try to set yourself up for everything you do in the future to try to meet at least kind of this level if you can, if you have time. Yeah, no, this part feels super scientific. You have a diagram, you have the real thing tested, and then you have a summary of what you've learned, or you describe it. You know, everything's labeled. Super great. This is how architecture is done, and this is why architecture, I think, is a Bachelor of Science degree. Is because a lot of its parts need to be scientific. It needs to be very precise and well documented. I think you've done a great job here. And this is very nice as well. Like this catalog, very, very great. This is fine. Obviously a bit less composed and compiled than the first two parts. So yeah, these really, I think, your best work so far. Cool. These feel a bit rushed, and I guess it's like you still need to try to line these edges up. I think it's just a bit strange how it just goes like that. I know you're not a big fan of formatting, but if you're not a big fan of formatting, you got to take really, really nice photos then. If you have really nice photos, then you don't have to format as much. It's just like the overall page needs to have a certain level of care in it. And if you need to rush through your model, then you need to photograph it really nice. If you need to rush through the photography, then you need to format it really nice. So just pick whichever one you want to spend that time on. But yeah, always photograph it from at least plan and kind of frontal perspective, at least. So I guess you're missing kind of the plan view here. I guess it's the same thing. Yeah, so this is way too much pictures, I think, for something quite simple. So I will actually add these images to another page. Right, great plan photos. You know, these are nicely done. A bit wobbly, as always, something to definitely watch out for. And yeah, you know, the trim is looking a bit rough. I guess it is one of your last pages. Yeah, no, you gotta fix this formatting. This is not looking great because it's next to each other. This one is just way smaller, and these ones are weirdly cut off, like top and bottom. Yeah, no, I would take this page out. Which, you know, apply your love from this page to the other pages. Modeling. Cool. This, I think, one of your best images. This might be your best image, period. This is the second best one on this page. Your second best model photography as well, I think, overall. This is third. These are weirdly perspective. So in this one, the lighting is just not great in this one. But this, I would just have this on one page by itself with a little bit of text. These are very precisely made, but the photography is kind of killing the energy, or killing the care. All of these are very nicely casted. You know, they fit to the site. You know, that's great, amazing. But then there's just like overall blurriness to the image, and there's like the lighting is like there's no directional lighting. It looks like you're like shaky when you're taking it, but I'm sure you're not. I'm sure you're trying, and you know the camera is just not doing it. But at least you got to take it all from the same perspective, right? This is the same site, I assume. It looks like the same site, so you got to take it from the same angle. So even if you don't have a tripod, just like mark it somehow. I trust that you can do this, movie. I trust you can do this. You got this. But yeah, that's it. Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, great. So I think just a few things I wanted to focus on is, well, not really actually. I mean, great. Okay, so I guess just to summarize, choose one image per page to make it big. Okay, every page should have a big image, at least. So yeah, just kind of choose that. You don't have to say every page has to have it, but 95% of pages should have a focus of one image that's much bigger than the other ones. Let's say 85%, 80% of the pages, okay? I think you just have way too many pages with just like a bunch of photos. Like this is, yeah, chaotic to look at. Second thing I think is, your text overall is a bit too big. Shrink them. More care and formatting for sure. Some really nice renders, right? Some the good things, really nice renders, some really good pencil drawings, some really good model making in the end, the plaster models, and some nice plan drawings. So at least have a full page for each one of those things, I would say. And yeah, I think I'm happy to look at it again once you have made some changes, because there's just honestly too much to look at. So I don't think I could say, oh, once you make these changes, it's a perfect portfolio. So I think you gotta give it a shot, and then we can see what to do next. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. And thank you very much for letting me review your portfolio. This has been a pleasure, and I hope others find this helpful. All right, thank you guys.